Being the universal energy of intelligent information, IFA was created by Olodumare to dictate the instructions of how the elements that compose life should act. It had its genesis together with the universe. This detail chronologically places it before the time when men divided the universal holistic knowledge into distinct specialties currently recognized as science, religion, politics, culture, and many more. Therefore, to identify Ifa as just a religion would be to mutilate its ray of action in life. Ifa is the all from which the branches of knowledge spring forth. It is the mother cell of wisdom. This means that Ifa could be considered the wise word of the Almighty God. This affirmation could seem contradictory to the belief that has existed for centuries of the Bible being accredited with this title, but this apparent controversy does not really exist. And this is because if Ifa is born with the origin of the universe, and it has been recognized with the title, which is, according to the United Nations, a masterpiece of the oral and intangible, signifying Ifa's existence before the Bible's writings. Most scholars agree that the Bible began to be written at about 1513 BC, and it's believed to have been completed at about 98 AD. To this, we add the fact that writings as a form of communication did not develop before 3000 BC. All things written in the Bible were events that were initially told orally, and the wise advices found in it are in essence the same as found in the oral tradition of Ifa. They are the directives for a prosperous, harmonious life, only told perhaps with different styles and words. The reason for these linguistic differences are told in the book of Genesis in the Bible and also in the Odu Ofun Oturupon in Ifa. As for the Bible, in chapter 11, verses 1 through 9, we are told that on earth there was only one single language and only one single set of words. Men traveling east found the valley of Shinar and decided to dwell in this region. And they built the city and also a giant tower peaking the heavens to adore God and to not be scattered throughout earth. The Creator was not in agreement with this purpose, and he confused their language so that one would not understand the language of the other. This story explains clearly that Almighty God did not agree with there being only one single style to adore him. And he fomented diversity in scattering them throughout different parts of the earth. In this manner, man would find different faunas, floras, climates, and foods, bringing as a consequence different cultures and different perceptions of the world that surrounded him. And these different cultures express these different perceptions. And one may take, for example, how these different cultures have produced different names to identify the same sovereign, creative God, and different languages to describe him. Let's put, for example, the name with which the Creator is identified in the Hebrew scriptures of the Bible. In the book of Exodus, chapter 6, verses 2 and 3, the name Jehovah appears, but it is also clearly expressed that there were loyal men at his command, with whom he had many oral communications with frequently, such as were Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and he never identified himself before them by his name. Now, let's analyze the name Jehovah. In its etymology, its writing in Hebrew is read Jo Evawe, or Yahweh, and its meaning is He causes it to be. This identifies Jehovah as a title which is more than a name, as the creator of existence or the existent. Now, let's analyze the Almighty God. According to Ifa's oral tradition, He is identified in many forms, such as Olodumare, fountain of energy or life, Olorun, God of the heavens, and many more. But let's put special attention on one form, which denotes his quality as creator. In the Odu Ofunmeji, the story of the creation of his name is referred to, and he is identified as Oduduwa. In translating the meaning, we find Odu as matrix or fountain, Da, which in Yoruba means create, and Wa, which means to be. That is to say, the matrix which creates or causes to be. In summary, Jehovah and Oduduwa as names or titles referring to the supreme being or creator have the same meaning. Another important fact which provides solid proof of the relative information between the Bible and Ifa is established in the origin of creation through word. In the Bible, in the book of John, chapter 1, verse 1, we read, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word, which was God, and the Word was a God." Later, in verse 3, it continues, "All things came to exist through him, and without him, not even one thing came to exist." In these words, there is a clear testimony that the Creator used the Word as a basic means of action to create, and this word, or verb, is later identified as the Son of God, or helper, in creating all things. And his name, Jesus, means Yahweh is the salvation. As proof of this, the book of Genesis, in its account of creation, in chapter 1, it speaks of the 6 days of creation, utilizing the mandate through the voice or word. For example, in verse 3, we read, "And God proceeded to say, 'Let there be light,' and there was light." This story is nothing more than a version of what is related in Ifa and registered in the Odu Iroso Iwori, which affirms that Olodumare, the God creator, created knowledge, understanding, and wisdom as a means of communication with everything created, which came out of his abdomen, vibrating, and they descended together in the form of word, and they evacuated their energy in the form of light and sound. And upon arriving on earth, it materialized in Ella, or ORUNMILA, whose name means only the heavens know the path of salvation. Moreover, the sign Babae Yogbe identifies ORUNMILA as the Eleri Iping, that is to say, witness of creation. Each account in the Bible and Ifa coincide in 4 essential points. First, one God creator of all existent things. 2, the use of the word or information as the basic means of communication with existence. Point number 3, the Son of God as representative of that word or information and as witness or helper of creation. And point number 4, the names ORUNMILA and Jesus have the same meaning. But if written forms of the word or mandates of God exist, such as the Bible, Quran, Talmud, and the Vedas, among others, Then why does IFA continue to hold the title of Heritage of Humanity in its oral and intangible form? Well, be sure not to miss the explanation in our upcoming videos.